so I was quite young when I saw it. And I remember just laughing at the giant condoms, but also feeling so proud of myself for knowing what they were and what the joke was.
Hi, Akiva. My name is Ron Stockless, radio host from Berlin, Germany, Flux FM.
Nice to meet you.
I'm very glad talking to you about The Naked Gun. And at first, I have to go down with you on memory lane. Do you remember the first time you saw a Naked Gun film and what you were thinking that time?
Yeah, I mean, we looked to be around the same age, so I was quite young when I saw it. And I remember just laughing at the giant condoms, but also feeling so proud of myself for knowing what they were and what the joke was, and really patting myself on the back for that. Um, yeah, the one I actually have seared into my head as a memory is Top Secret. Do you remember Top Secret?
Yep.
And it was, the same creators, Abraham Zucker, and that one was the my introduction to their world, and that is just seared in my memory from a slumber party where it was my birthday, and I got to invite like eight of my little dude friends over, and we were all sleeping on sleeping bags in the living room floor, and my parents rented Top Secret, and I had no clue what it was, and it was like a different part of my like brain got opened. You know what I mean?
You, yeah,
Are you a fan of those kinds of movies? Like I'm assuming you are if you're the one doing this.
well, I have to say, when I think of The Naked Gun, for example, I think of some iconic quotes and gags. You just mentioned the condom. And so it's for me too. I remember them from back in the day when I was younger and laughing about it. And so I thought before watching the movie, how difficult is it to create something that has this late 80s, early 90s vibe, but also make it modern, original, to stand alone for itself? I don't know. What was it for you? Because I think it's a difficult task.
I agree, and I mean you just articulated it very well. I would say that that was the challenge, right? That you want to make it, honor the originals and honor the spirit and the tone and the style. But I personally, this was a choice, I guess, was to make it feel modern and try to not repeat any of their jokes. You could easily take the assignment a different direction if and be like, oh, they did a joke about a beaver, I have to do a joke about a beaver. And I just personally chose that no, they made a joke about a beaver, we can't make a joke about a beaver. Like that was just a choice, I guess.
I have to say, I loved what you did with the cameos, the small background gags that can easily be overlooked in the film, the end credits. They were so funny to watch while they were scrolling up. There's so much attention to detail, I have to say. How long did it take for you and the crew to find all these little pieces to put together and ideas for the film?
I mean, the movie, I mean, it takes a long time, and I really appreciate you doing a close watch and noticing those details because we really worked hard to make. I mean, it's all based on the old movies though, right? Like they had those details, they had jokes in the credits, they had background jokes. So in terms of what we were just talking about trying to honor the original movies and kind of the spirit of them, they were all under 90 minutes. And by all, I mean the Naked Guns, but also Airplane. They were like the main things I took is like under 90 minutes and just dense with jokes where they just come really fast. And there's so many, and there's ones you miss your first time and pick up the second time. And so, yeah, so we worked really hard to try to recreate that, I guess.
You mentioned the original films. I think there's only one thing I could imagine people could be concerned about, and that is the age of Frank Drebin Jr. Shouldn't he be younger? Because I think he was born like 1994, so is
Well,
working for
you're
the police
assuming
squad.
he's one of those, you're assuming he's one of those little guys from the 33 and a third. Is that right?
Maybe, maybe.
But maybe he's, the Leslie Nielsen was, I'm going to guess his age here. I think he was 60, but that's just a wild guess. So are we to assume he had never had a previous marriage before Jane? Like he might have. I like to think that maybe Liam Neeson's Frank Drebin Jr. was from a completely different marriage. I don't think Priscilla Presley's his mom. That's his stepmom, let's say.
And I think we all will see how she would react, maybe if she could see him working. And I have to say thank you for your time. Loved what you've done with this franchise to bring it back to the cinemas.
Well, thank you so much for watching and for doing a detailed watch. I appreciate that.